Now we want to do a full analysis from the graph. We're given this graph, it says find f of 0. That means we want to know what is the value of the graph, in other words the y value, because f of x represents a y value, when 0 is input. Now if you go to the graph x equals 0 and you go up to the y value, it looks like the output is 2. So f of 0 is equal to 2. F of 3 says go to 3, look up at the graph, its output or y value is 1. So I've really got the point here 3, 1, and up above I have the point 0, 2. Now negative 2, you can see that the point negative 2, 1 is on the graph, so the value of the function here is also 1. I'm sorry that you couldn't see those points off at the right. For what values of x is f of x equal to negative 3? Well, that is asking when is y equal to negative 3. If we go to our graph and draw a horizontal line at y equals negative 3, we see that when x is negative 3, the y value is negative 3. So the answer is x equals negative 3. When is the y value equal to positive 3? Well, let's go up to the graph. Here's our positive 3. We see that it hits one time when x is equal to 1. So at x equals 1, f of x, the y value, is equal to 3. Now what is the domain of this graph? Well, we look at it and it extends forever as it's going downward to the left, but it has a right endpoint of 3. So our domain will be from negative infinity up to and including 3. What is the range? Well, it goes down forever, there's no gaps along the way, and it has a maximum value of 3. So the range will also be from negative infinity to 3. Now you do have to know that this domain is representing x values and this range is representing y values. Sometimes in front of this we write x element of and y element of, saying that these are x values in that set and y values in that set. But right now we're not going to be using that notation. Let's take a look at another graph of g of x. Find g of negative 1. In other words, what's the y value when x is negative 1? If we go to negative 1 up to the graph, it looks like the y value is 2 because the point negative 1, 2 is on the graph. G of 1. Well, we see that 1, 1 is on the graph, so the y value is 1. When x is 4, again, the y value is 1. Now it's asking, find the x values for which g of x is equal to 3. Well, that's a y equals 3. When is y equals 3? Right here when x is equal to 2. So that would be my answer to this part. When is the y value, g of x, going to equal 0? Well, at negative 3 and again at positive 5. So x equals negative 3 or 5. Find the domain of this graph. Well, it stops on the left at negative 3. It keeps on going to the right forever. So I'm going to say the domain starts at and includes the negative 3 and goes to positive infinity. And the range, well, it looks like it stops down here and doesn't go below, but on the right it does go below and down forever. So it's got a maximum value of positive 3 here at its peak. And so the range of this graph, the y values that can be taken on by the graph, range from negative infinity up to 3, which is included.